One of the trickier things to learn is adding negative numbers. It can be counterintuitive and difficult to grasp. So we've got some problems with adding negative numbers here, and I want to show you a couple of different ways to think about it, to visualize it. What I've got first are these piles of blue and pink circles. The blue circles, they represent a positive one, and the pink circles represent a negative one. And the rule is, if you put a positive and a negative together, they are like matter and antimatter, and if they combine, they explode and just annihilate each other and disappear. So basically what I'm saying mathematically is that a positive one plus a negative one is going to amount to nothing. They're going to annihilate each other. It goes to zero. So if we have a problem like this, negative 6 plus 6, well, really that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's this part, the positive 6. And then we have a negative 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Each one of these pairs is going to annihilate each other. So a negative 6 and a positive 6 are going to add up to 0. So the answer to negative 6 plus 6 is 0. So that's one way to think about this problem. Another way is to think about it on the number line. And we can just take this problem right in order. We're starting at a negative 6. That would be right here. And then plus 6 means move to the right, move in that positive direction, 6 spaces. So I'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and boom, I end up at 0. So two different ways to think about the same problem. Let's try this with negative 3 plus a negative 5 and see what we get. You might want to think about that for a second and see if you can imagine what the answer is. So a negative 3, I can represent this way, 1, 2, 3. Oops, come here. So that's negative 3. I'm going to get rid of these positives up here because we're not going to need them. As you notice, there aren't any positive numbers in this problem. So let's just shove these guys over here. Okay, now we've got our negative 3. We need to add a negative 5. So here's 1, 2, 3, and 2 more. 4, negative 4, negative 5. So this is a negative 3 plus a negative 5. And if you count them all together, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, we've got 8 negative signs there, 8 negative ones. So a negative 3 plus a negative 5 is a negative 8. And I'm going to choose a different color to do this on the graph. So let's think about this on the number line. We started at a negative 3. So negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. We started here. And then it says plus a negative 5. That's the same thing as minus 5. Either way, you're going in the negative direction, 5 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and boom, we're at negative 8. All right, let's practice this a little bit more. So this first one says a negative 2 plus a negative 4. So let's just represent that here. So there's 1, 2, that's negative 2, plus a negative 4. You've probably got this figured out in your head while I'm slowly arranging my negative signs here. And that's good. Okay, so there's a negative 2 plus a negative 4. There's nothing else in this problem. That's 6 negative 1s, or negative 6. Now let's see, the next one is a positive 6 minus 4. And let's do these both visually first, and then we'll do them on the number line. So let me grab 6 of these guys. Actually, let's do this. That's a little quicker. So there's a positive 6, and then we need a negative 4. I think what I'll do is just copy and paste this. Okay, so there's a negative 4. So positive 6 plus a negative 4. Well, some of these are going to cancel each other out. So 1 for 1. Those would annihilate each other. 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 And all you're left with is 2 of the positives. So that is a positive 2. Let's try both of these on the number line. So this one, negative 2, is where we start. So negative 1, negative 2. And then we're going to go in the negative direction. This is a plus negative 4. We're going to go in the negative direction 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that brings us to negative 6. Change the color on the next one. This one, we start at a positive 6, so way up here. And we go 4 in the negative direction as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And that leaves us here at 2. So that is a little bit of work with adding negative numbers.